All right, hello and welcome to a session of Fit Essentials. My name is Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. We're going to start on our feet. If you do have a short band today, like a little TheraBand, we're going to be utilizing that as an option in our first series. All right, up on our feet, we're going to do our spinal cord breathing. So you'll bring your feet pointing straight ahead. You'll bring your arms around together, forearms touch, palms touch. And now we're going to start by rounding forward. So I'm going to kind of tuck my rib cage under, turn my hips under, bring my head down to my chest, pull the arms in. On the inhale, we're gonna open. So breathe in, lift, open, separate the arms, looking up to the ceiling. You can pause at the top of that breath. And then on the exhale, round it back in. Blow all the air out. Pause, and then breathe deep, opening again. And we're gonna spend about another 45 seconds or so. I invite you to just find your own rhythm here, moving and breathing. Very good. As you lift that chest open, bring the shoulders back and down, lowering them down out of the ears. Long exhales, as much air as you possibly can out of the lungs. Lift and open. Let's get about one more cycle. Very good. Go ahead and finish that series. And then when you finish, you can relax those arms down to your side. Fantastic. And then we'll just kind of shake it out, add a little side step to it. Shoulders back and down, opening through the arms. Fantastic. Alrighty, and before we take it down to the floor, let's get a little extra blood flow. We're gonna warm up those ankles first. Single leg balance and ankle rolls. Shoulders back and down. Take it about 3 to 5 one way, 3 to 5 the other. Very good, opposite foot, same thing. Lift everything up, shoulders back and down. Balancing on that other side. Oops. Hello, switch directions on that ankle when you're ready there. Fantastic. And then wrist rolls. Roll those wrists around next. And the other way. Beautiful. All right, from there, let's just take about 2 to 3 minutes for a little bit of blood flow. We'll start with either some step jacks or some jumping jacks. Stepping it out side to side. Nice. Good. If you feel ready for a little bit of jumping, you can. Fantastic. From here, we're going to go into a little cross crawl action. Arms up at the sides. We're going to bring the elbow towards the opposite knee. Stepping it out. Elbow to the opposite knee. Good. Get that breathing going. Fantastic. Working on that balance, lifting up to that midsection as you bring that leg across, keeping your hips nice and square. Fantastic. Good job. Back to the step jacks or jump jacks. There you go. Smile. So you can clap those hands together overhead. Nice. 15 more seconds. Feel free to step anytime you want to take a little bit of break from the jumping. Fantastic. All right. We're going to go back to that cross crawl. This time, hand reaches a foot behind the body. Opposite hand to the opposite foot. Stepping back behind. There you go. Good job. Still focusing on that stability up through the hips. Fantastic. Good. A couple more each side. All right. Very good. Let's go ahead and take it down to the floor. We're going to go right into our first circuit after a couple stretches. So make sure you have your band nearby if you're going to use one. So let's kind of inchworm our way down. Nice wide base stance, walking your way down. And once we come down here, we're going to give a little bit more attention to those forearms and wrists. So we'll go palms down, fingers towards you, and just gently sink back. Rock or rotate your body side to side. Very good. From here, hold most of the weight in your legs and shake out those hands for a second. And then with most of the weight in your legs, I'm going to place my hands back down with the palms up towards the ceiling. This tends to have a little bit more tension there. And then very gently, you can kind of lean back, get a nice stretch along the top side, or you might see it as the back side of the forearms. Just nice and delicate. And when you're ready, come back off of that. One more time, shaking it out. All right, super. From here, let's go ahead and make our way down. We're going to come onto our side. Before you do that, you can take your band, if you're going to use it, put it around your feet. And I'm going to put it just below my knees for this first section. All right. So on the side, you're going to just set your arm right underneath your shoulder. And we're going to start with some leg lifts. We're going to work for about 20 seconds on each. So we're going to start with the top leg. You're going to have the toes pointing straight ahead. And you're simply just going to lift the leg straight up. Okay. Depending upon your band, you might have a little bit more room than me, but just nice and smooth, toe pointing straight ahead, up. You can pause the top and lowering down. Very nice. Good. 1 to 2 more. And from there, rest there. You're going to take that top leg and kind of adjust the bands a little bit as needed. I like to bend the knee, place it down, and now I'm going to support on the hand, and now I'm going to lift up that downside leg. So you can see it's just a subtle, I'm lifting that bottom leg off the ground a little bit to activate like call it like an adduction, adductor muscles. Good. Yep. Up and relax, up and relax. Good job. Couple more. And when you're ready, spin it around. Same thing, other side. So we'll start with the legs stacked, top leg. So it's going to be our abduction. When you're ready, toe pointing straight ahead, up and down. Nice. Good. Isolating those stabilizer muscles of the hips. Let's go one more and relax. Good job. Bend the top leg and bring it down in front. And now 2, 1, inside leg is going to lift. Here we go. Straight up and down. Still focus on the toes pointing straight ahead. Starting to isolate some smaller little muscles here. Couple more. Up and down. And release. Good job. Feel free to keep that band around the legs. I have it up above my knees now, base of the thighs. We're going to come onto all fours for some donkey kicks. So I'm going to place the hands right underneath the shoulders. Looking to keep my hips and shoulders nice and square. And then when you're ready, you're just going to keep the knee bent and drive the foot up towards the ceiling. One thing you want to watch here is that you keep your midline engaged so that you're not arching your back in the process. So here we go. If you haven't started, lifting up, controlling down. Once you got to hang on what we're doing, turn your gaze so you're looking straight down between your hands. Good. 1 to 2 more here. And when you're ready, same thing, opposite leg. Let's make a little adjustment. And here we go. Firing those glutes and hamstrings. Yeah, slight bend in the knee. Smooth breathing. Fantastic. 1 to 2 more. and rest. All right, we're gonna stay on all fours, mid-back rotations in between before we go back to the top. Hand behind the head, elbow to elbow, and lift and rotate. Let's go 5 times on each. Very good. After 5, switching sides as you're rotating here. I breathe in as I close. Exhale into that opening and follow the elbow with your eyes, gazing up. Breathe in and exhale, trying to get all the air out of the lungs as you rotate. Beautiful. When you finish 5 there, feel free if you want to kind of take a moment, rock the hips side to side, stretch out the lower back and hips a little bit. With my knees in, quadruped hip rock. Very nice. And then when you're ready, go ahead and come on back down to your side. We're gonna go back to the top with the leg lifts. Starting in 10. So we're gonna do that twice more. Now you know that drill. So 2, 1, and here we go. Top leg up, toes straight ahead. Working for about 20 seconds, resting for about 10 as we switch movements. Two, 1, and transition. Bend that top leg in position for the bottom one to lift. And when you're ready, toes still pointing straight ahead. Just a very subtle movement here. You don't move it very far, just up and then down. Very good. Let's get about 1 more. And relax. Swing it around. Same thing other side. That leg in position. 2, 1. Here we go. Top leg first. Nice. Fantastic. 1 to 2 more. Very good. When you're ready, bend the top leg. Set it in position for the bottom. And here we go. This one's a little bit more awkward. It's such a small movement. Just be patient with it. My foot maybe comes about 6 inches off the ground. It's all right. Just about that consistent movement. And go ahead and spin it over to all 4, donkey kicks. The band is around the thighs. Nice wide handprint underneath the shoulders. Midline nice and strong. 2, 1, here we go. Pick a side. Watching that arch in the back. Hips level. Breathe. Good. Two, 1, and transition. Same thing, opposite leg. Nice deep breath. And when you're ready. Great time to just stay connected to your breathing. Make sure you keep lifting up out of those shoulders and arms, not collapsing. And rest and rotate. Sorry, we're not going to jump back down yet. Different variation of the upper body. Let's go palm up on the small of the back. Dip your shoulder in and rotate from there. Lifting up. Still trying to turn the head, looking up towards the ceiling. 5 times here. Breathe in and breathe out. Very nice. After about 5, switch sides. Same thing, other side. About one more here, breathing in to dip, exhale, looking up on that rotation. And when you finish, let's make our way back down. Last time through, we're gonna start with those leg lifts here in 10 seconds. I guess it was this way first. And 2, 1, here we go. I'm still keeping that toe straight ahead, straight up, straight down. Yep. Good. Pause and then lower. Very good. Bend that knee, bottom leg next. 2, 1, here we go. Just ever so gently lifting it up, lowering it down. Last time on this round. Let's get one more there, lift it up, control it down, and swivel around. Last time, second side. 2, 1, and begin when you're ready. Good job. Just make sure that toe's pointing straight ahead as you move. Very nice. Go ahead and bend that top leg. Last time on that downside leg. 2, 1, and when you're ready. Awesome, halfway there. And release. Good job. All fours. Final round of donkey kicks. Knees about hip width apart. Palms right underneath those shoulders. 2, 1, and here we go. Not enough time to change the music, Sharon. She plays some good tunes on her end, always dancing around, having a good time. I love it. And one more. Good job. Release there. Second leg. Last time through. 2, 1. Here we go. Keep giving some attention to that midline, not letting those low back arch in. So I think about kind of pulling my belly button in, holding that spine nice and neutral. And 2, 1, and relax that side. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and slide out of that band. Nice work. All right, you're gonna give a little bit more love to the upper body. Getting ready for our next piece. We've got some push-ups and some sit-ups. But first, let's finish our rotations for the mid-back. So you can either stay up on the hands if that felt pretty stiff for you, or come down to the forearms. We're gonna do our mid-back rotations from there. Hand behind the head, similar to the first version, elbow to elbow. And let's get about 5 quality reps here. Pausing in that open position. Not worrying about speed on this movement. Breathe in and breathe out. Good job. After about 5, switch sides. Same thing, other side. And relax. Fantastic. All right, so let's go ahead. Our first version, it's going to be a couple options on the push-ups. We're going to have 3 rounds of this. I recommend on those push-ups starting on the knees. That's what I'm going to be doing. We can go ahead and do a couple together just to feel it out. Because instead of just doing straight push-ups, it's going to be push-ups into a position. So for the first round, hands to the shoulders. Belly tight, I'm gonna lower down. As I come up, I'm gonna drop my hips back like I'm coming into child's position. When I rock forward, midline tight, chest to the ground, drive up and rock back. All right, so we'll work there for 50 seconds. We'll take 10 seconds to roll over on our back. I recommend having a little bit of an extra padding on the back as needed. For the sit-ups, head rests on the ground, arms reach up to overhead, and then I'm gonna drive my arms up and I wanna sit through, sitting nice and tall up out of my sit bones. Very nice. As I lower down, I pull my belly button in. Try to lower down like one segment at a time. It doesn't have to be super slow, but just think about that. And then again, I'll sit tall, try to touch the hands to the feet. So we want to avoid this like slouched head forward posture. And we want to emphasize, how do we want our posture to look in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Standing up nice and tall, sitting up nice and tall. So that will be our sequence. 50 seconds of the push-up, roll it over, 50 seconds of a sit-up, all right? On round 2, I'm gonna start to do the push-up from my toes, and instead of going into a child's position, I'll go into more of a down dog. So it'll look something like this, down, up, and then my hips drive higher. You know, you make the call for yourself, whether it feels right to go off your toes or whether you wanna stick to the knee, to the child's position, okay? And you can find kind of an in-between too. If you wanna come down, you can come down on the toes, up on the knees, and obviously you can always lift the knees back off the ground if you wanna progress into that down dog posture on those later rounds. So before we jump into it, let's grab a drink of our water. Let me know if there's any questions, and then we'll get started. And this will be 3 times through, 50 seconds of each. Looking to move nice and consistent. All right, we're gonna start in 10. As you lower down your push-ups, everybody, try to avoid those elbows going wide. So think kind of elbows back and in. That's the most common thing I see is people throw those elbows wide. 2, 1, here we go. Lower down and back into child's position. So building a little bit of strength and stretching out that upper body. Common things that we see besides the upper body positioning is that low back tending to arch as you lower. So stay strong in that midline. Belly button pulled in. We are halfway through here. Ideally bringing that chest all the way down to the deck and driving out from there. Very good. Stay really strong as you push up. Try not to worm off the floor. Nice straight body. And finish that rep and then roll it over onto your back. First set of sit-ups. Good job. Head relaxes back. Arms reach overhead. 2, 1. Here we go. Sitting tall. Shoulders down out of the ears. Breathe. Remember, as I lower back, I think about pulling the belly button in, try to lower down like one segment at a time, sitting tall at the top. Very good. A lot of times you'll hear, isn't it cheating to use your arms? But if you think about how the body's designed, our arms attach into our torso, right through the middle of the ribs. So when you're using your arms, it just allows the movement to be a little bit more functional because they're tapped into the torso. So it helps us to sit tall. One more. And taking it back over for the push-ups. All right, that's round 1. We'll do it twice more. So either stick with what we just did or progress into that down dog position. When you're ready, here we go. Everything's still nice and tight. And by all means, if anything's going on with the shoulders, you could always just hold a plank and then rock back and forth from the top of the push-ups. If it doesn't feel good to go all the way down for any reason, then listen to the body. Good job. Remember we talked about that in between. We can come down on the toes, up on the knees, and then transition back to the toes. Come into that down dog. Very nice. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and roll it over when you're ready. Sit up, set 2. And here we go. If your body feels good for it, you can think about like sitting fast. Drive those arms, pull through, sit tall. Beautiful. And then controlling the down, so I can kind of sit up quick and then slowly lower. Try to take myself back a little bit slower. Halfway through. Nice. I've also found that when I'm using my arms, it takes a lot of strain off my neck as well. I used to do a lot of crunches and have a lot of discomfort in my neck afterwards. So relaxing the head back takes that tension off the neck for that moment as well. And then the arms help it to all function. Good job. That's the end of round 2. Last time through on those push-ups. 2, 1, whenever you're ready. So toes or knees, down dog or child's position. Keep breathing. Make sure those fingers are spread out nice and wide. Grip the finger pads down into your mat or your carpet. Help activate the arches of the hand. Take the pressure off the wrist. Distribute it through the hand. You've got those arches of the hand just like we have arches of the feet. Just don't talk about the arches of the hand quite as often. We're over halfway. 15 seconds left. Midline nice and solid. And 2, 1, rest and rotate. Final set of sit-ups. Very nice. And whenever you're ready, here we go. Good job. Sitting tall and breathe. Fire that midline, kind of pull up nice and fast, a little bit smooth. Come back with intention. Good. Good job. 20 seconds. There you go. Final 10. And 1 or 2 more. 2, 1, and rest. Let's go ahead and just take it onto the back for a moment. We're going to stretch out the low back before we come back up to our feet. Arms out to the side. Either double knee to chest if that feels better, or if you feel like you're ready for a little 2-knee twist, you can gently take the legs across the body. Very good. Great time to just relax the eyes for a second. See what you're feeling through your body. After this 2-knee twist or that double knee to chest, let's keep the knees bent. Place your feet flat on the floor, and we're gonna do a couple bridges to help open up the front of the hips again. So chin in, just nice and gentle, push the hips up and forward. Squeeze the bum so that you can lengthen out those hip flexors and kind of tighten them down a little bit with those sit-ups. You can hold the top here for a moment, and then when you're ready, go ahead and relax it down. Either stay with those bridges for a couple of cycles, 2 to 3 cycles, or on the next one, when the hips are up, bring your arms together underneath your body. Work those shoulder blades back and down, and we'll just hold this bridge pose for about 20 seconds. Opening the chest, opening the front of the hips. Very good. Pull that chin into the chest, close the eyes, and breathe. Good job. Focusing to lengthen through that low back. Let's go a couple more breaths. And when you're ready, gradually bring your body back down to the floor. And nice and gradual. Just take your time, making your way up to your feet. All right, great work. Grab your water. Couple of stretches before we jump into our final circuit. I want to start by giving a little attention to the quads. So work on a little bit of balance, or you can steady yourself against something, lifting up, grab one foot, and bring those shoulders down out of the ears. Good job. Breathe here. Very nice. 10 more seconds. 2, 1. And relax. Before we jump into that other foot, we're going to open up the inner thighs. So nice wide base stance. We're going to go into our Cossack stretch or side lunge. Root down into those legs. Just nice and gradual. Take it into a side lunge. Heel planted, knee drives wide. Back to center. And same thing other side. Really sink the weight into the heel. And we'll just go about 2 to 3 times here, side to side. Coming a little bit deeper as you feel ready for it. Fantastic. Really try to make a point, eyes up, chest up. You kind of want to avoid this forward posture. So staying straight on, looks great. Very good. Once you even yourself out side to side there, walk those feet back in and quad stretch on that opposite leg. Shoulders back and down, grab the foot, pull it back. Very good. Yep, and this is our second foot, so saw one of you step out for a second if you want to make sure you balance out both sides. 2, 1, and release. Very good. Let's go into a behind the back stretch next. Nice wide base stance. Interlace those hands behind. Extend those arms out. You can stay here or root down to those legs and bring it into that forward fold. Pulling those arms up to overhead. Saying all over those hamstrings. You just let the head be kind of heavy here. Let it hang down and then send your breath into the back of the rib cage. Try to expand as you breathe. Well, oftentimes we don't quite get the air to all the different areas of the lungs. You can use your focus to do so. When you're ready, just come on up to the top and shake out those arms. All right, let's get one more drink of water. Our next sequence, we have some carries in it. And it's an uneven carry. So ideally you want to have 2 different weights, and we're going to have some options here. So the heavier weight, you're going to hold in what we call the farmer's position, where you hold it down at the side. The lighter weight, you have options of either holding it up at the shoulder, we call this the front rack position, or you can hold it up overhead for an overhead position. If you were in class yesterday, we did do some overhead work. So maybe you don't want to go overhead today, or maybe you tend to have some tight shoulders. Front rack may be more appropriate. And then you can march, or you can just hold it. It'll be an uneven carry, 30 seconds. We'll set that weight down. We're going to come down to our forearms. You can either hold that forearm plank or keep the hips nice and level, and it's called a hip rock, where you bring the hips. It doesn't feel good for me to go all the way to the floor with the hips, but I just tilt them to one side and then up and across to the other. 30 seconds of that. Back to our feet, and then we hold the weights in the opposite arms. Last exercise, either a step over, or if you'd like to get a little bit of jumping in today, some lateral hops. All right, speaking of the hops, let's stretch those calves. Heel down, toe up on a doorway, a box, a chair, and sinking into it. We're going to go through 4 rounds. If you haven't done a whole lot of this work recently, you might want to stick to 2 to 3. Switch legs when you're ready. Otherwise, join us for all 4. And obviously you could vary up the holds too. Maybe you want to hold the front rack for the first round. That feels good. If you want to play with that overhead hold the second round, that's always a good choice there. All right, shake that foot out. Fantastic. Let's grab one more drink of water, and then we'll get going. All right, so we're gonna start with the heavier weight in your right arm, the lighter weight in your left arm. And I'm gonna be mirroring you, so I will be the opposite of that. All right, going in 10. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. One at the side, one either at the shoulders or overhead. If you are overhead, make sure you're not in that sway back posture. And the arm down at the side, I just want to avoid this forward shoulder. So I think about turning my palm slightly forward as I'm holding. Good job. Halfway through. Nice and tall, nice and strong. And 2, 1, and transition. Set your weights down. I have allotted about 15 seconds for transition, so it should be more than enough time. And if you get there early and want to jump right into it, you can. Forearm plank is next. 2, 1, and here we go. Hips nice and level. Option to rock those hips side to side. And obviously, as we're bringing the hips side to side, we're really focusing to not have any arch of the back. Even if you're not rocking the hips, if you're just holding straight on, sometimes those hips get heavy and start to sink in. So pull that belly button in, keep them lifted, level with the shoulders. 2, 1, and back to your feet. Good job. We're going back to the carry, this time with the heavier weight in your right hand. And 3, 2, 1, here we go. Nice. Training that posture here. Breathing and moving. Halfway through. And obviously it's kind of like a counterbalance. So you're looking to keep yourself as vertical as you can with uneven weights. And 2, 1, and set those weights down. This is our lateral step over or our rebounding section. So we're not quite into that 15-second rest, but you can always start early. Get a little head start, little longer interval. And this is officially starts our interval. Good job. Here we go into that 30 seconds. So high knees for stepping or little rebounding jumps, side to side. Halfway through. Very good, 10 seconds left. I like to kind of switch up the movements as I'm going. This is the end of our first set, everybody, in 2, 1, and rest. All right, we're gonna keep the rest break short. 15 seconds, we're back to the heavier weight in your left arm. 2, 1, here we go. For round 2 and 4, I'm gonna hold overhead with my lighter arm. Sets 1 and 3, I'm gonna hold the front rack position. So really working that stability. Avoiding that arch of the low back. You can always hold this in place as well. If you don't feel comfortable moving with it. 2, 1, and rotate. Good job. Plank hip rocks. On the forearms. Officially starting, and right now. Bring the feet, hips side to side. And increase that awareness of the lower body, lower abdomen. Definitely want to avoid any kind of pinching in the low back. Stay nice and strong. Almost there. And rest and rotate. Good job. Back to your feet. Carries with the heavier weight in your right hand this time. Up at the shoulder or overhead. 2, 1, here we go. Whew. This was fairly challenging. Good focus. Halfway through. Very nice. Almost there. 2, 1, and rest. Good job. Lateral hops or stepovers. Final exercise of set 2. If you want to start early, it's an easier transition on that movement. And here's the official start of the 30 seconds. As you lift the knees, lift the foot and toes as well if you're doing the stepovers. And or you can intermix it with those either straight hops or you can add a little lateral hop to it. Just nice and gentle side to side. Fantastic. 10 seconds left. There you go. And rest. Awesome. 2 down, 2 to go. All right, back to the carry. Heavier weight in your left hand. 3, 2, 1. Round 3. You can stay overhead if you'd like. Like I said, every other round, I'm going to go shoulder position versus overhead. The one that has the heavier weight, that's going to be likely to start to pull you forward. So shoulder back. I like to turn the palm slightly forward. You can march forward. You can march backwards. And transition. Good job. Forearm plank. Steady breathing. Come into position when you're ready, and here's the start of the 30. Bring your head so that your eyes are looking right between the forearms. Hold that chin nice and neutral. Moving with control as you choose to gently rock those hips, or just hold that straight plank, lifting up through that mid body. And rest and rotate. Good job. Back to your feet. Heavier weight in your right arm. 2, 1. Here's our 30. Nice job. And those of you holding the, yeah, it looks pretty good. You want to avoid that elbow winging wide. So I'm trying to keep that elbow pointing straight ahead. Nice. All right, 10 seconds to go. Awesome. 2, 1, and rest. Woohoo! Lateral hops or stepovers. Coming up next. If you want to start early, you can. Still got about 7 seconds left in the recovery, but most of you are fitter to do more than 30 seconds. So feel free if you want to cut that rest short and go on the 30. Awesome. Got that imaginary hurdle up and over. Fantastic. 15 seconds left. You're going to change it up for those hops. You can. And even if you don't want to jump, but if you want to just kind of bounce, where you just lightly lift the heels off of the ground, you can even hold your upper body onto a chair or something and rest. All right, that's 3 down, 4 to go, 4 to go, 1 to go. Heavier weight in your left. Going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. I'm going to go back to that overhead hold. Front of the ribs stay down, no sway back. Beautiful. Eyes up, head up. 10 seconds left. And transition. Good job. Planks. Final forearm plank. Rolling through today. And 2, 1. Here we go. job. We tend to drop down right between the shoulders. So imagine if I were there in person, I'd tap you right between your shoulder blades and say, lift up right here. Lift your spine towards the ceiling while still keeping your hips nice and level. Good. Continue to breathe. 2, 1, and make your way back up. All righty. Final carry. Heavier weight in your right hand. 3, 2, 1. Start when you're ready. That's the hardest transition there. Getting off the floor, getting back to your weights. Stay focused. Chin in, ribs down, shoulder back. Whew. Good, over halfway. Losing my steadiness here. Almost done. And rest. Good job. Just that lateral step or hops to finish. Woo. Great job, everybody. Beautiful. 30 seconds left. Yep. Like, where's my lateral step? There it is. 20 seconds to go. Fantastic. Feel free to dance here. Have some fun. Finish strong. Beautiful. Final 10 seconds. This is when you can go like dance party mode. I was never really a big dance party person, but hey, I can pretend. And rest. Woo! Round of applause. Great job, great job. All right, grab some water. Okay. We're gonna start at the hips and the upper body. You can either stay standing for this version or join me down on the floor in the bottom of a lunge. We're gonna start with your left foot forward, right foot back. So in the lunge, all right, from here, we're gonna start by reaching both arms up to overhead, lifting up out of the chest and hips, and just gently kind of sink into the hips, shift them forward, and then rotate your torso towards your front leg. And we'll come in and out of that a few times. I rock back, lift, squeeze that glute of the trail leg as I sink into that, and then I turn, just gently rotate. Once more, rock back, lift, squeeze the glute, open the front of that hip, and a nice little torso rotation. Very good. Relax the arms down. Let's switch legs. Same thing, other side. Step it forward, reach it up. You can either keep the hands separated here if you want to interlace the fingers. That works well also. Chest up, hips up, shift into that back. Squeeze the bum of the trail leg and rocking back out of it. Oops, I forgot to tell you to rotate. So squeeze the hips and rotate towards your front leg. Good, couple more there. Rock back, lift the chest, lift the torso, rock forward and rotate. Good, last one. And shake it out. We're gonna go back to the first leg and add the tricep side bend. So the leg of the arm of the trail leg is gonna reach that arm up. Think ribs down here, bend the elbow. Check in with that head. How long can you lengthen the neck? Reach around. Start by just focusing on that tricep, pulling that elbow back. And then I can shift into the hips as I did before, rocking them forward. And now instead of rotating, I'm gonna bend to the side. Breathe in, come back to the lengthened position. Exhale into the side bend. Breathe in, chin in, nice and long. And exhale. Couple more. Beautiful. Shake it out. Same thing, other side. Step it up. Arm of the trail leg, ribs down. Bend the elbow, lengthen through the head and neck. Pull it back first. And then when you're ready, you can shift into the hip, fire that glute, and take it to the side. Breathe in to lengthen. 3 to 5 times into these side bends here. Very good. And then once you finish that, if you are standing, make your way down to the floor. We're going to come into some variations of child's position. So we're going to start with child's side stretch. So from all fours, I'm going to walk my hands, take it to your right side, and you're going to take your left arm, reach it out nice and long, and lower down from there, dropping the head down, kind of like you're trying to look underneath that armpit of that shoulder. And as always, breathing right into that rib cage. When you're ready, same thing other side. Walk the hands the other direction. Now your right arm, nice and long, reach it out and send those hips back. Looking down towards the floor like you're trying to look underneath your right armpit. So let's go about one more nice deep breath here. And release, good job. Go ahead and come out of that. From here, we're gonna go down dog into pigeon pose. So let's start with the right leg. If you prefer figure 4, you can roll over onto your back for figure 4. Otherwise, hips nice and high. Open that mid back. And let's walk out those heels before we go into pigeon. So drop your heels down to the floor. Get a nice stretch in those calves. When you're ready, we're gonna start on the right. Swing that leg forward, square the hips and shoulders best you can. And breathe. Very nice. You can stay tall here if you'd like to come down low on the forearms. You know, as always, we want our stretching to be moderate, nothing so intense that you feel like you're increasing your sweat, grimacing, all that kind of stuff. Probably a little too intense. We're looking to calm your nervous system down at this point, not stress it out. When you're ready, go ahead and kind of come onto your right hip and swing that back leg around, seated twist. Good job. Sit tall, shoulders down out of the ears. Breathe. You stay here. You can work that elbow around onto the knee. Opposite hand can kind of walk around, and then you're trying to look over that shoulder on the left. Very good. When you're ready, start to come out of that. We're going to make our way back into down dog, and then it's going to be left leg forward on this second half. Just feel your way into it. Hips up nice and high. Lengthening. Give a little bit more love to the calves. And when you're ready, left leg swings forward. Square those hips and shoulders. The low hip either staying tall, and gently fold forward if that feels good for you. When you're ready, back leg around, seated twist. Sit tall and hug it in. And if you're starting to relax here, hugging the leg in, you can work that elbow on the outside of the leg. Take that right hand on the floor, kind of walk your way around. Turn the head so you're looking over your right shoulder. And as you're doing so, lengthen. So you want to still think about sitting up as tall as you can. And release. All right. Last one's going to be for the upper body. If you have a towel or a band, or if you can reach your hands, we're going to do that little aptly stretch. So if you can, reach your fingers behind you. Otherwise, one hand under, one hand over. Looking to open up that upper body, chin in. Try to stay as even as you can. Very good. Close the eyes and breathe. Let's go about another 15 seconds. And when you're ready, go ahead and release. Same thing, opposite side. Reaching up, down, and reaching under. Beautiful. Lengthening through that spine, chin pulled in. Just inviting that upper body to open. Good, another 10 seconds. And when you're ready, make your way out. Fantastic. All right, everybody. Anything else that you want to add in? Some side stretching, maybe just want to lie on your back for a few minutes. Whatever your body, mind, and soul might be asking for right now. Otherwise, thanks for being here and hope to see you next time.